Hi peeps, today's topic is how to eat and work out according to your menstrual cycle. So this is not just for beginners or for advanced athletes, this is for everybody. So I thought this is a rare topic that is not well discussed and not well known. There are many people who are being misinformed about this topic, and this is worthwhile to have a good discussion on. So before we go into detail, let's talk a little bit about the phases of the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle as such, you would already know, it lasts for about 28 to 30 days. The first phase is the menstrual phase. This is when you have your period, which goes on for 3 to 5 days. This is followed by the follicular phase, which goes on for 10 to 16 days. And then you have ovulation for 3 to 5 days. And this is followed by the luteal phase, which goes on for 2 weeks. This is when you feel crappy, you have your mood swings, you have irritability and bloating, and all the bad stuff that comes in the luteal phase. And following the luteal phase, your periods start over again. So this is about the phases of the menstrual cycle. Let's discuss a little bit about the hormones involved and the hormones that affect your menstrual cycle. So there are three main hormones that you need to know about. One is estrogen, the other one is progesterone, and the third one is luteinizing hormone. So what happens is when the cycle starts, estrogen, progesterone, and luteinizing hormone are seen towards the bottom of the scale. As the cycle continues, you see a peak in estrogen levels around the end of the follicular phase. This continues into ovulation, and in the luteal phase, you see there is a marked drop in estrogen and a rise in progesterone. Also note that the luteinizing hormone peaks before ovulation because this is when the hormone is needed to stimulate follicle growth around the egg. So these are the hormones involved in the menstrual cycle. Now let's talk about training in your menstrual and follicular phase. So during the menstrual phase, of course, you will be feeling a little tired because of the bleeding, and yes, you may have a slight amount of bloating also. During this phase, all you have to do is do what your body tells you. Listen to your body. If you feel that you should rest, then go ahead and rest. If you feel that you should exercise, then go for something light, like walk or a mild jog. You can go for a ride, or you may go for a swim too. So listen to your body and do activities at very low intensity during this phase. If you go to the gym, you may lift light weights for very limited number of reps. So following this, in the follicular phase, you can go in for better workouts because this is when your estrogen peaks and your progesterone is down. So rise in estrogen has been linked to better performance in women in many studies that have been conducted so far. So during this phase, you will feel more energy, you will feel less bloating, and you will practically be having an improved pain threshold. So that's a very important point. So you can actually push for PBs on your long runs. You can go for intervals, sprint intervals, HIIT workouts. You can aim for your 1 rep max in the gym if possible. So all this can be done. The max intensity workouts can be done in your follicular phase, towards the end of your follicular phase. And following the follicular phase, as I told you, you have ovulation, and this is similar to what I talked about in the follicular phase because your estrogen continues to be high during ovulation. So you can listen to your body and go in for high intensity workouts. As for your diet during the follicular phase, if you're on any kind of paleo diet or if you're trying intermittent fasting, this would be a good time to try it because your energy levels will be higher. So try those if you feel that you need to lose weight, or if not, try to eat a good amount of complex carbohydrates and protein to fuel your workouts, and of course, healthy fats. Next comes the dreaded luteal phase. So this is when you feel crappy, you feel bloated, your energy levels go down, your body doesn't understand how to use the energy stores. That is, it has reduced amount of gluconeogenesis, and there is also increased breakdown of protein. So your body goes into quite a bad state of affairs during the luteal phase. During this stage, what I advise you is the same more or less as what I said in the menstrual phase. Go for low to moderate state workouts. Go for a long, slow ride or long, slow swim or a long, slow jog. So these are the workouts that are usually recommended. If you lift weights, then go for more sets but lesser weight and more reps. So practically go for endurance. But one thing to remember here in the luteal phase is that your core body temperature goes up. So even if you go for endurance workouts like I suggested, make sure that you finish these workouts before 8 a.m. or so, before the sun goes a little too high in the sky, because your body temperature is going to go up and you may definitely feel a little more feverish and more tired than your usual workouts. And if you really have to go for a race or a long distance event, make sure that you take in more glucose accordingly, because studies have showed that more glucose during the luteal phase helps to improve your exercise performance. So if you really feel like going for a PB, then by all means go and aim for a PB, go for your race, perform well, but fuel accordingly. Take adequate amount of complex carbohydrates, take adequate amount of glucose, take more protein than usual, because as I told you, there is a lot of breakdown of protein. So if you're going to work out at high intensity, make sure that you fuel yourself accordingly. Let's talk about cravings. So during the luteal phase, I'm sure most of you would have this experience of eating a lot, and let me tell you, there is a very scientific reason for this. It also saddens me that very knowledgeable people, including famous trainers, they put down women or they insult women because they eat a lot during this phase. The actual reason is because progesterone peaks during this phase, and because of that, you will experience more fat deposition, lesser energy levels, and more appetite. So when this happens, you will need more nutrients. The body will need more nutrients to take care of whatever chemical processes and the numerous chemical processes going on inside. You need to compensate, and that's why you need more nutrients, and that's why you crave for sugary stuff during this phase. So now that that's aside, let's discuss on how to deal with cravings. The main mistake I see most of my clients and other people make is that they try to compensate by eating more at one time and then totally fasting or not eating much or just going on a juice diet the next day, or they skip meals. Please don't do that. Don't skip meals. During this phase, you need energy, as I told you. So instead of fasting, instead of skipping meals, and instead of going on crazy juice diets, just eat properly and eat healthy. So for those of you who have a sweet tooth and you really need sugar in your life, consider switching from sugar to cinnamon. This will trick your body into thinking that you're having sugar. Another thing that you can do is to substitute ice cream with smoothies, fruits, and yogurt. Of course, don't add sugar in your smoothies. And those who love chips and tacos, consider switching on to unsalted popcorn. The reason I say unsalted is because when you have salted popcorn, it can cause more bloating. And since you're already bloated, that doesn't make much sense. So go for unsalted popcorn. These are some small simple switches that you can make. Other than these, if you feel hungry, I suggest having complex carbohydrates like oats, or you can have quinoa, or you can have beans. So oats and beans are almost readily available everywhere. So fill your diet with these. Also, make sure to take in more protein, because as I told you, there is a lot of breakdown of protein, and if you're exercising, you are going to need more protein. As for fats, make sure that you're having healthy fats in your diet, such as almonds, walnuts, flaxseed, and fish oils. These are all sources of healthy fats. So make sure that you have them when you're feeling hungry. So eat well, just make sure to switch from junk food towards healthier food. So the next time you want a snack on an Oreo, think twice. Go for something more healthy like almonds or walnuts or unsalted popcorn, right? So in summary, during the menstrual phase when you're bleeding, you can go in for low intensity workouts if you listen to your body, and you feel like going for a workout, then go for low intensity workouts like walking, jogging, or cycling or swimming. During the follicular phase is when your estrogen is going to be really high, so you can go in for HIIT workouts. You can aim for a 1 rep max. You can go in for high volume workouts at the gym. You can go for sprint intervals. You can aim for a PB on long runs. During the luteal phase, in the initial half of the luteal phase, you can try endurance running, but don't go and aim for a PB. This could be the time when you actually increase the mileage in your endurance runs, and make sure to have a low to moderate heart rate during this time. If you're going to go and lift weights, make sure to lift a lower weight for more repetitions. You can also try power yoga, Pilates, and other activities at low to moderate heart rate. And coming to cravings, how you handle cravings is you substitute simple sugars with complex carbohydrates. You take in more protein as well as healthy fats such as almonds, walnuts, flaxseed, and fish liver oils. As for substitution of foods, you have to substitute ice creams with yogurts and smoothies, fruits. You can substitute chips and tacos with unsalted popcorn, or you can also have protein bars. So make the switch, eat healthy, listen to your body. Just because experts tell you to work out this way or that way during different phases of your cycle doesn't mean that you have to do everything by the book. Listen to your body also. If you feel like going for a PB during the luteal phase, then by all means, try it out. It doesn't have to be by the book all the time. These are just a general set of guidelines. I hope you found this content useful, and if you love it, please share, please subscribe, so that we can continue to make more amazing stuff. Do comment your views about the topic, and see you all in the next video. Thank you.